like to review Pennsylvania Game News. It's one of my favorite magazines and has been for a very long time, since I was a little kid, before I could even read. I would just look at the pictures, and I really enjoyed this. It's actually been around a lot longer than just the 1980s, though. It actually came out in the 1930s, if you can believe it. So it's been around for a very long time. And it's such a different and unique publication, and I think that's why it's stuck around so long, because it's the people that subscribe to it really love this thing, and it's very different. There are no advertisements in this, if you can believe that. That's so cool. When you look at the covers, there's really nice artwork, and sometimes they're photographs, but they never have, it's not cluttered with all those words and phrases and just trying to get you to get your attention and buy this magazine. It's like they don't need to do that. It's actually done by the Game Commission. So you kind of have this inside scoop when it comes to what they're doing or what they're up to or what their plans may be for the future. For example, they may be updating you on what they're doing to certain game lands, or if they purchase more land and they add it to one of their current game lands. They would talk about that in there. There's a lot of articles by wildlife biologists. They'll actually write articles about the different species of Pennsylvania, and it isn't just the ones that you can hunt. They'll do things about songbirds and chipmunks and things like that. This is the cover of July 2017. This is the current issue, and as you can see, what is that? Parakeet or parrot or something like that. It's actually a parakeet that is now extinct, but it was native to Pennsylvania. And there's an article, really good article, all about those birds and how they became extinct and where they used to be. And it's neat stuff like that you don't find in other hunting magazines or outdoor magazines. That's what really makes Pennsylvania Game News really cool. One of my favorite parts when I was a kid, and still today, is the field notes section. And those are the actual notes from the field that are taken by the game commissioners. They like to be called wildlife conservation officers now. That's the real title. But they take these notes when something happens to them out in the field as they're doing their job. And a lot of them are funny. Some are just, amusing or just really cool. Sometimes it's just like something wild or crazy that happened to them. But they're really fun, and they're so short that, it's not like reading a book. A couple sentences, and you get a little chuckle out of it. I believe the cartoonist that used to do the little cartoons, I believe he died. I think he passed away, unfortunately. If he didn't, I think maybe he just retired. So the cartoons are done by somebody else, and they're really not as good. They're really not compared to the old stuff. But I think everybody realizes that. But that's about the only negative thing I could even say about this magazine, honestly. The price is also very good. If you buy it on the newsstand, it's $3.99. But if you get a subscription, if you get a year subscription, that's 12 issues for $18. So you're talking about $1 and some change per issue, which I think is a great price. It's really good. And you can get it online and, shipped right to your door. I live here in Texas now. I'm no longer in Pennsylvania, so when this comes to my house every month, it's really nice because I feel like I'm still connected to back home, to the woods and everything, and helps me get excited for hunting season. Because that's what this magazine is really about, for the hunters of Pennsylvania. And it's not just one group. It's not just deer hunters. It's the bear hunters. It's turkey hunters. It's even trappers. They have some things about trapping. And it's not just rifles. It's archery. It's muzzle loading. It really covers everything. It really does. And that's why it's great. And pretty much everybody out there, if you're an avid outdoorsman in Pennsylvania, then this is a great magazine for you. And I think would make a great gift for somebody who's just getting started out in hunting. in the state of Pennsylvania, a child or even, an adult that's just getting into the sport. Like I said, there's so many articles in there, and it's just full of information, but it's also full of stories, and those are really the best part, I think, of Pennsylvania game news, because those stories are written by people like you and me that go out, we have a great experience, we have a wonderful hunt, a wonderful time, we write it down, we share it, and we submit it, and then everybody gets to read it, and that's really neat. That's one of my favorite parts for sure, is all the stories that you can find in these magazines. So I highly recommend this. I am a subscriber. Like I said, it comes right to my door, and they send it to Texas. So if you've never seen one, if you've never read one, go pick up a copy and check it out. And, if you're not convinced, that's fine. You don't have to get a subscription. But if you are, I say subscribe. Because it's not like anything else that you're gonna see. It's there, and I'm not knocking the other magazines that are out there. I still like a lot. I like Field and Stream, Deer and Deer Hunter, things like that. Those are still good magazines, but it's just not the same. It's different. You gotta check it out. It's real unique. So I really enjoy this, and I hope you do too. And just check it out. See what you think.